Hi, I'm Becca Peppiatt, Marketing Manager at Proctor Stevenson, and welcome to episode 2 of our Women in Business series. Today we're going to be interviewing Rebecca May from Panasonic Business Europe. She is the European Demand Generation Manager, and we're going to be hearing a little bit more about her career journey, her experience as a woman in a senior leadership position. So Becca, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for everybody watching, why don't we kick off? Maybe you could just introduce yourself and talk to us a little bit more about your role for Panasonic.
Yeah, definitely. So my current role at Panasonic is, as you said, the Demand Generation Manager for Panasonic Business Europe. Rolls off the tongue. But in reality, I guess it just means that I'm that annoying person that kind of gets involved with a little bit of everything. But no, actually, in all seriousness, it's really good because across all of Europe and the B2B categories, I kind of get a view of everything. So I get involved with anything from tough book campaigns to the Pro AV campaigns, and on a local level as well as European level. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and I probably still am that annoying person.
I was going to say, us at Proctor Stevenson, we obviously work quite closely with you. So yeah, we're thrilled to have you on board today. Can you talk to us a little bit more about any exciting projects that you've got going on at the moment?
Actually, yes. So last week, Panasonic announced that we are kind of forming a new company. So PSCEU, as you know it, will be changing to Panasonic Connect. So it's more so we can create a proper solutions business and things like that. But it's quite exciting in terms of marketing and what I do as my role, because it means that we'll be bringing in a couple of different business units, and we might be losing a few as well, but it just means that we can become a lot more focused in what we're doing. So for how we'll be working together as well, it's definitely an exciting time. So yeah, that's probably the main thing, to be honest. It's all kind of kicking off now. So yeah, very exciting.
Sounds like quite a big period of change then. What's the timescale of that?
Yeah, so we announced it to the media and things last week. So it'll probably be quite a slow transition, to be honest, because there's lots of different legal things that need sorting out. But in terms of how it will affect us, I think I need to start working on campaign ideas straight away, which because they always take longer than you think to come to fruition, but probably early next year, in the calendar year, I think.
Oh, very exciting. So let's talk about you on a personal level, whether that's for Panasonic Business or for maybe a previous role. What would you say is your greatest professional accomplishment to date?
Well, I've actually been at Panasonic kind of nearly 10 years, so yeah, it's my life. But back in, I think it was 2018, I won this what Panasonic call the Eagle Award. So the official terminology is the European Award for Great Leaders and Employees. So yeah, I have that up in my office looking at me, my little award. So in terms of actual achievements, yeah, but on a personal level within my role, I think more recently I coordinated the first B2B virtual event using our new event platform. So a little bit of both there.
Well, congratulations, that's an amazing achievement. Let's talk about the leadership side of your position and kind of advice for other managers out there. Do you have any top tips for increasing productivity within your team?
For me, it has to be organisation. I need to know where I'm at, what I've got next, and things like that. So it's having a clear plan of your day. So on a Friday, you're looking at what you've got next week. You haven't accidentally got any meeting clashes, things like that. And I love a list. I just love a list.
Preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like achievement when you've ticked, you've got your list of 20 things, but you managed to tick 5 off already. It's yes, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Organisation lists, yeah, that's sort of talking my language. Okay, so in your opinion, what qualities do you think a great leader possesses?
I think just to be able to acknowledge when someone is doing well or is doing a good job, or they do something that you're either surprised at, or you think, oh God, that's such a good, why didn't I think of that kind of thing? But just to acknowledge it, because I think, yeah, obviously, like in terms of results, that's one thing, but like from a personal level, to acknowledge like to somebody else, like, hey, that was really good. I think that is like means more sometimes, that other people are seeing what you're doing, and I guess seeing things being recognised. Yeah,
definitely. Positive reinforcement, sort of rewards and incentives, and I feel like it builds that momentum and it will drive people to, achieve more as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your experience sort of as a woman in this leadership position. Looking back on your career, do you think that there's been any times where you've faced prejudices or challenges breaking into the industry due to the fact that you're a woman?
To be honest, I feel like I was incredibly lucky at Panasonic. So I started obviously like 10 years ago, so I feel like I was quite a different person back then. And I started off as a local marketing manager, and it was actually in a team of like, I don't know, between 8 and 10 like men. But honestly, at the time, like, I don't think I ever really realised it. Like I didn't, they were nothing but supportive to me. And I look back now and I think, God, how did I do that? Like, because it feels overwhelming when you think of someone quite young coming into it, but they were nothing kind of but supportive. And so I don't really remember thinking about like women in business as such. If anything, maybe age more than gender was a bit more kind of prevalent back then. Well, it's not that long ago, but but no, I think as well, and I think kind of your character plays a big part in it. Like, I am pretty like persistent and like to get things done how I want them done, so I don't think I ever really felt that. But even having said that, the other day we had a conference call with actually some of the girls on your team, and there was like 6 of us, all female, on this call, and I was like, I don't think I've had that in so long. Like, so maybe more so now, but I think through my kind of experience and journey, not really. Like, yeah.
That's lovely to hear, though, that you went into such a sort of male-dominated environment and that you felt that support. I think that's really lovely and uplifting for people to hear, that maybe, the tides are turning and this is, the business environment is evolving. So that's really encouraging to hear. You've talked a little bit there about being persistent. In your kind of general attitude to work, what motivates you?
Yeah, I can't help but like, even when I know like I might be annoying people, but I can't help but just wanting to get the job done and get it done well. So I'm very persistent, but also for me, like, motivating me is like more the recognition thing, like not necessarily in like financially even, I mean like within the business. So it's so small, but even when somebody sends an email to say like, well done, like this campaign did well, like well done Becca, or something like that, like, or I love that creative, like who came up, like just like recognition internally within the business is such a key part for me.
I think that was definitely a good motivator. Okay, talking about some advice that you might have for sort of women going into either male-dominated industries or environments, do you have any sort of strategies that people could maybe adopt for sort of women watching this to kind of cement their position within an organisation?
Yeah, I mean, I think first impressions, they definitely play like a really big part, but I don't think that's necessarily just for women. That's for everybody across the board. It's really hard to change a first impression of someone, but that doesn't mean like as a woman you have to go in and be this like fierce, like over professional like person, like, because I think sometimes the initial thought for women is that they have to go in and they have to be like, they have to shout to be heard the loudest and things like that. And the experience that I've had, it just isn't that. I think you can still show your personality to be respected. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, we're all human. So I just think sometimes there's this, as I said, like, women have to go in and be like this really like fierce, like, but I actually don't think that works. I think you just need to go in, show who you are, and if you're the right person for that job or you're the right person for that project, then it will happen.
Yeah, have the confidence in your ability rather than feeling that you need to go in and assert dominance or play a role to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Talking about, just looking back on your career, what or who has been sort of your biggest influence of the way that your career's kind of shaped over the years?
So internally within Panasonic, I've been really lucky, like with my managers, like they've like kind of taken me with them to different roles and things like that. So yeah, I mean, my manager has definitely been amazing in terms of like my career progression. But like for an external influence, I just love Karen Brady. I initially, from watching her like in The Apprentice and things like that, I used to watch her and be like, wow, like she is something else. But then when you actually look into her background, like she hasn't had it easy, and she's really worked to get to where she is. Like she's like ambassadors for like, I don't know, the UK government, small businesses. She does loads of stuff with football and things like that. So I think she's just an example for me of someone who knows what she wants, and she's just gone out and got it. And yeah.
Well, you know what, Becca, maybe there'll be some people watching this today that will think the exact same thing about you. And it sounds like, from what you're saying about Panasonic Business, that you guys foster a really healthy culture there that kind of nurtures the talent regardless of gender. So that's really encouraging to hear. And also lovely for the fact that we work with you so closely. It's lovely to hear that firsthand, that, you know, you are like that in that company. So to wrap up, one last question. Do you have any last bits of advice that you'd give to the next generation of female leaders?
I think that everybody should do what they feel comfortable doing. So if you've got like this 5-year plan, 10-year plan, like that's great. But like not everybody has that, and also not everybody wants progression, or not everybody wants to keep moving to the next thing, and that is also fine. So everybody, I think it's more about just taking like a look at like what it is that makes you happy and what it is that you want. And you don't have to be this fierce like independent women, like group of women that are always wanting to do the next thing. Like whatever you want basically is fine, male or female, to be honest. I think everybody just has to be comfortable in their own skin and in what they're doing, and good businesses will respect that.
Yeah, great. That's a lovely sentiment to leave us on. Well, Becca, it's been so lovely to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining us. If anyone would like to contact you, how can they do so?
Through LinkedIn, and any agency through Panasonic, definitely.
Lovely. All right, thanks, Becca. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you want to find out more about our Women in Business series, or about our services at Proctor's in general, you can get in touch with us at marketing@proctors.co.uk, or you can keep up to date with our content on our social channels, which we'll see on the next slide.